on television. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to call this first meeting of the Advisory Committee on Racial Equity, Inclusion, and Human Rights to order. And I thought we'd start off by introducing the members of the committee. So if we want to start over there with Chris, maybe a little background as well.
Sure, I'm happy to. I'm Chris Blackstone. I was going to say I live here in Newmarket, capital duh. I serve on the Conservation Commission as well as a trustee of the trust funds. I work part-time at the Newmarket Rec Department as a community collaborations coordinator and front desk, voice on the front desk phone. And I'm very interested in this for a number of reasons, not the least of which is I lived for a number of years in other countries where I have seen some of this, still with certain privilege, but felt some of this and can imagine some of the things that I would like to contribute to this group. And I've been in the UNH pilot course that they call JEDI, which is Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. Happy to meet all of you.
All right, I am Dr. Andrea Bien. I live in Newmarket also, obviously. I am a professor at Boston University in the Wheelock College of Education and Human Development. My area of expertise is literacy, specifically equity in the teaching and learning of literacy. Oh, and I'm also the co-director of a center at BU called Educating Critically. That's kind of a new gig, so I keep forgetting to name it, but it's very relevant. So I'm excited to be here, to meet you all.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Representative Charlotte DiLorenzo. I've lived in Newmarket since 1993, having moved from Massachusetts. I worked in property management for about 35 years, managing housing, mostly in the Boston area. I've also managed in Boston, New Hampshire, and Maine. After retirement, I decided to run for the House of Representatives. That was in 2016, and I've just finished my third term in the House, and I was just elected for my fourth term in the House, and I serve on the House Judiciary Committee. And my background in law is that I graduated from the Boston University paralegal program. It was a post-grad one-year program.
I'm Steve Fournier. I'm the town manager. So.
Please remind me to go in the other side of Charlotte and Dr. Bien before I go. My name is Mickey Burns. I live here in Newmarket. As a profession, I'm a senior project manager for an e-commerce website company. I have been, decided to join this company or this committee because I think it's really important that people in Newmarket are able to live their authentic lives. My wife, Amy Burns, is also a member of this committee. She is training for her new job. Together we're here to support the town in the efforts here. Happy to be a part of it.
Hi, I'm Stacey Taylor Brown. I was an educator, social studies educator for 16 years. Really pushed and felt frustrated by equity issues in the schools. So I recently have left actually public school to try to promote it in more effective ways, and so I decided to join this as a way to continue that work and maybe be more successful, hopefully, at my goals or the goals.
And so the committee also has 4 non-voting members. I'm one, and the other 2 are sitting at the table right now, and there's 1 vacancy for a student representative from the high school. There is an interested individual that I just got the nomination paper today, so yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But they want to.
Good evening. I'm Greg Jordan. I'm the police chief here in town. I've lived here for most of my life. I left for a short time to be a police officer on Cape Cod. Then I worked in Stratham for a short time before I came back here to Newmarket. I live here in the community as well, and the health and well-being of the community is important to me, and I think that this committee is part of that. So that's why I'm here.
And I'm Todd Allen. I'm the superintendent of schools. I'm probably the only one on the committee who is actually not from Newmarket. I live far away in Lee.
I can check in a little further.
But I did spend 36 years in the Oyster River District, and actually the last 5 or 6 we had formed a committee much like this in our district that I served on for 5 years, and a lot of great work was done working with New Hampshire Listens over at UNH and so forth. So I was excited when Steve reached out to let me know that this was getting started in town. I also think very much public education is probably the place where these issues come up, equity, inclusion, creating a welcoming environment for all is critical to public education, and public schools have not always excelled at that, and it's important to keep those things in the forefront.
Yeah, just throw you under the bus. We're doing introductions, and you're the last one.
Okay. Do I have to talk into
No,
one of
you can
these?
just, they can get that.
Good evening. My name's Carol Gulla. I've been a resident of Newmarket for 12 years, and in my not living around town life, I am the director of a volunteer transportation program based in Hampton called TASK, Transportation Assistance for Seacoast Citizens. And one of my interests in this committee is that the issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion come up all the time in the nonprofit world, and I just saw this as an opportunity to expand my own horizons. Does that work?
That's perfect.
Oh, good.
Okay, now we're just going to go review what the role of the committee was and how we got here. To be quite honest, it started about a year ago when I attended a joint conference of the Maine and New Hampshire municipal managers up in Portland, and this was the topic of discussion for the day. The first group was two cities, South Portland and Bangor, that had these committees and had committee members speaking to us. When I reviewed it and I discussed it with the chair of the council, we thought, it's better for us to be proactive than reactive. And a lot of the committees and communities were reactive when they put the committees in versus putting it in proactively. So we looked basically looked at some of the main communities and how they set up their committees. We looked a lot at Bangor. And basically the mission of the committee, which is in the resolution that the council adopted, is to develop ideas and information to educate individuals within the organization as well as in the community, focus on topics of, but not limited to, awareness, sensitivity, equity, inclusion, and diversity. It's to review and advise town staff regarding policies and practices to recruit, hire, onboard, promote, and maintain a diverse and inclusive workforce. Specifically, the committee's work will focus on mitigating the potential for bias in the hiring and retention decisions through consistent evidence-based tools, procedures, and training. Review applicable ordinances, policies, and programs to ensure that they promote the goal of accepting, respecting, and valuing differences, including attributes such as age, race, gender, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, gender expression, sexual identity, ability, language, family circumstances, and cultural backgrounds. These efforts will assist Newmarket's community in developing diversity and inclusion and create greater awareness about opportunities to advance issues of age, race, gender, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, gender expression, sexual identity, ability, language, family circumstances, and cultural backgrounds to ensure concerns are heard and considered when creating town policy and ordinances. The goal of the committee that the council set was to promote ideas and information to further the spirit of diversity and inclusion, to provide town staff with input on administrative policies that impact employees, recruitment, hiring, onboarding, promotional opportunity, and retention of a diverse workforce, engage and be a resource for the community in ways to incorporate diversity, inclusion, and equity into our community through development of ordinances, policies, and programs, and to educate community members and refer community members to other potentially useful resources. One other thing is because you hear this in a lot of communities now, it's not a replacement for the New Hampshire Human Rights Commission. It's not a body to judge situations. You hear that in some western states and cities that they're putting review panels in. That's not what this group is for. This is to help make sure the policies and procedures are in place. If there is an issue that comes up, that we do have the New Hampshire Human Rights Commission, the EOC, the Equal Opportunity Employment Opportunity Commission, and other legal bodies that do that. I just want to put that out front first, just to make sure we know our charge. So, is there any questions on the roles and what the council set forward? So the next one, the big decision for this evening, election of officers. For the voting members, we need to elect a chair, a vice chair, and a clerk. The clerk will have the lovely job of taking minutes. This committee has to comply with the right to know law, RSA 91A. So no communications outside of meetings except to schedule meetings. I'll be the one who would be the stickler and come down with the hammer if we see a violation. But we also have to make sure minutes are taken and submitted. Minutes are not a transcript. It's just a summary of any actions that were taken at the meeting. So it doesn't have to be too in-depth. But at this point, I guess I would ask, is there any members interested in serving as chair? I know, Chris, you mentioned it.
Steve?
Yeah.
I'm not volunteering, I have a question.
Yes. I was like,
Everybody got very
yeah. Of course. So I like it. He said, no, I'm not doing it. Yes.
So my question is, what about, how often will we be meeting?
That is up to you, the
Okay.
committee. It says you must meet quarterly.
Must be quarterly.
Yep. But if the committee has something going on, you can meet more often. But if not, just once a quarter is necessary.
And will require public notice?
Yep.
as
And my office will
91A?
take care of that.
Okay,
Yep.
great. That's through.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I would be interested if nobody else is interested.
okay. So we have somebody interested. Do we have a nomination for Chris as chair?
Oh, Chris, okay.
Yeah.
I nominate Chris.
Second.
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 And I just met Carol.
Seeing no other nominations, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Mike. You want to take the chair now, or do you want to wait till the next meeting?
Why don't I wait till the next meeting?
Okay.
Because I think you still have some questions to
Yep.
facilitate, and certainly we could have some more to ask.
Okay.
so.
Right.
So a vice chair, in case the chair is not present.
A volunteer?
Okay.
I'll second.
So you made the motion to nominate.
I'll
and-
make a motion to nominate
Charlotte?
Charlotte
I
as
second.
vice chair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Seeing no other nominations, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Clerk, this is the one that everyone's going to jump to. This is just in case that somebody's not here. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be done.
Okay. Thanks, Carol.
I'll nominate Carol.
It's so nice to finally meet you. I've seen your name around the whole.
Yeah. Okay, seeing no other nominations.
Okay.
All in
chair.
favor of Carol, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I can do them for tonight, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Oh, good.
So, we have our officers. I guess the next one is, what's the next steps for the committee? There's a couple programs that we have lined up that I could share. One is, I can't remember the official name of it, but it's to get the town of Newmarket on the Human Rights Commission's, if I'm saying the right name, there's a grade that they'll give communities on how they handle situations when it comes to equity and treatment of individuals. I can get that information to see if that's something that the committee would like to look at, trying to get us on. I know the town of Durham is on, cities of Dover, Portsmouth, Derry, Manchester, some of those long communities are. And it's one of those situations where a low grade is not a bad grade. It just shows that you have to improve on things. But I'll try to pull that together and forward that to the committee.
So what does that entail, Steve? Does that entail
It-
them going through all of our policies?
It will go through our policies. It'll see what
Okay.
ordinances we have, what kind of liaisons and outreach that we have, whether we have a committee. Those are the kind of things that it'll look at.
So they would kind of do the work and point out areas where
Exactly.
we need.
That's, because I was going to say our next step should be like a needs assessment.
Right.
And that
Needs
sounds exactly
Eh,
what that would be.
And somewhat, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's as broad as it may, as the committee may want. My other suggestion for the committee, maybe a next step, is try to get some of the other communities in New Hampshire or Maine or something that have the committees to join and say, hey, what do you guys do? You know, what's your goals? What's your ideas that you guys are working on, what some of the projects you've done. That way you can get an example. Like I said, I believe Durham does have a committee, but I have to double check. I think Portsmouth does, Manchester.
Can you clarify how that would work? We would just, so I want to be cognizant of like right to know.
Yeah.
So like my instinct is like, okay, let me email some of those people, but we can't, so we would just invite them to
Yeah.
the meeting?
Yep.
That's,
Odds are you probably have them on the screen and they'll probably zoom in.
Okay.
Do you have some names, some towns already in mind from your workshop that you went to with?
Yeah,
Portland
if I
and
could
Denver?
get somebody from South Portland. I remember he was very good speaker and very good at doing it. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was South Portland. I'd also check with Bangor again. I'm put some feelers out for local ones too, so we can have the New Hampshire experience. Like I said, I think Durham does. I believe Hanover.
What about Somersworth?
I think they do.
I think Somersworth does.
Okay.
Right, okay.
These-
But they would be some,
Yeah, I can talk to Dana and Bob up there too.
because of the large Indonesian
Yeah.
population.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought that would be a good way to start off our first real business meeting, is maybe get other communities in to talk to the group and see if they would be able to. And I guess anything, I'm looking at the committee too to see what they would like to address or what we can do. I mean, I think one thing is probably, you probably want copies of our policies, which are,
Yes. Yeah, I was just saying, need something to work with.
yeah.
Hiring numbers, like a lot
Yeah.
of it is hiring.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious of like, what is our representation in town?
Sure.
climate?
And what are the outlets for advertising? I know that, Indeed feels like the big go-to,
Yeah.
but are we being a bit more resourceful in where we're putting ads
Yeah.
for all types of jobs?
Yep.
You know what else could be interesting is putting out, this is something for you to do maybe, to put out to the department heads, what professional organizations are you in where you, as a department head, have attended some kind of a workshop or had an opportunity with this overarching topic?
Okay.
That would give us kind of an in-house baseline of what kind of info has been shared or what people are already familiar with, or
Yep.
I mean, somebody might have great handouts from a workshop.
Right.
To,
I think that's basically how that's how we started.
yeah. So could you do that? Ask
I
department
can.
heads?
So in addition to the HRC, like this sort of like grading, I'm wondering if this is probably too big for a next step, but something to consider is a climate survey of some sort. Because I'm thinking about some instrument for a needs assessment,
Yeah, right.
whatever that might be, climate survey or what's
Okay.
happening? Was there one administered?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
but I'm thinking, is there something that UNH may be able to help us
Totally.
with?
Oh, 100%. I'm sure there's someone there. Who,
Yeah.
New Hampshire Listens does an awful lot of
Yeah.
community outreach around race and equity.
Yeah. I could, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we have to reinvent the wheel.
No.
Because
No,
there's so many organizations doing this work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, which ones are valuable to work with?
Yeah.
Michelle Holt Shannon is the director that does a lot of that work. I'd be
Yeah.
happy to reach out to her if you'd
Yeah,
like.
she's actually my next door neighbor.
Oh, talk to her.
If I see her, I'll grab. I'll see
gonna
her.
say New Hampshire.
Literally reach out.
Literally, I see her every morning.
Well, she's walking the dog.
Exactly. I'll say, hey, I need you.
She'd be a good resource.
Small world.
Yep. Yeah.
I know that one of the things that Newmarket residents talk about and they miss are some of the community celebrations that we've had in the past, like Old Home Day,
Mhm.
and then there was I believe it was a cultural fair.
It was a cultural fair. I
It
remember that
moved
when I
into a
first.
cultural fair. We had
Yeah, there was a Heritage Day and there was,
Heritage, yes, Heritage
Heritage,
Festival.
yeah.
We did Newmarket Night Out one day,
Yep.
1 year, and then the school went into renovation, so we couldn't do it again.
Mm.
We did that with Chief Kyle.
Yeah.
It happened, well, with the rec did something last summer.
The
or
backyard.
summer,
The backyard, the New York
summer.
Flea
So
Market
along
bash.
that,
Yeah.
is that kind of the same thing? Or, yeah. Love that.
And I know that those things cost money.
Yeah.
Need to be fundraising.
And-
The Historical Society has brought in a couple of different language background people and given, not workshops, but presentations with their own cultural background, food samples, clothing samples and whatnot. So maybe asking them some of their contacts for the presentations they've had could be interesting.
I would love to know the history of the Laotian population in Newmarket because we've had a large Laotian population, and a lot of the young people went to the schools, and I'm wondering if they left Newmarket for, more opportunities like advanced education. I'd love to know the history of that. It's really interesting.
There was a presentation with the Historical Society about the history, so having that revisited could be really interesting.
So we got a few things here that we can pull together. I could try to finagle and pull together with the chair. And I guess more of a clerical, what's the best time and day for people to meet? So, I mean, I know you're going to be, when you're in session, it's not, the Tuesdays and middle of the week is pretty usually bad.
Well, session won't even start until, I don't know, February, January,
Yeah.
February. I'll probably be in committee Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 9 until 1 or 2.
Okay.
Evenings.
Yeah, I think evenings work better just in
Okay.
terms of like the
Evenings,
9 to 5
and
schedules.
generally I can be here by 6.
Yeah, and is 6 good? I mean, gets everybody out a little earlier so you're not here till 9 o'clock or.
Is this a set meeting time that will stay?
That's what I'm looking for.
So, because I teach at night a lot
Okay.
in Boston, so that's why I'm like, oh, should I make this annoying? I teach a lot of Monday nights and Tuesday nights.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So in the course of a year, there's a bunch of Monday and Tuesday
Yeah.
nights where I cannot meet. So like a Wednesday or a Thursday night, that would be perfect.
And Wednesdays and Thursdays you're usually in committee, but you're done by
Until
1-ish?
I'm done by.
The only issue with Wednesdays and Thursdays
Is
is the
there's-
council and the school board.
Yeah, because there's,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it'd have to be on non-council and school board nights.
Okay, so what, but is,
So first and third
First and third.
are
Yeah.
out.
Yep. For
so
both.
For both.
So second or fourth?
Second or fourth Wednesdays,
Second or fourth.
Wednesdays or Thursdays.
Second or fourth Wednesdays or Thursdays, okay, I think yes.
And you don't have, I mean, since there's no counselors or school board members on the committee, it doesn't have to be, it could be the same night if need be, just you may not have myself but again, it's not necessarily gonna be me here either, cause I can have myself or my designee to attend, which probably will happen when we get into HR things or other issues like that, so.
So are we looking for a January?
That's what I would suggest, is the next one would be after the holidays.
Right. Well, if it's January, I would say the fourth one, just to give time for these homework assignments to be accomplished.
That's probably a good idea, yeah.
And then the fourth one would work for February. Well, wouldn't it though? When is the vacation week? Todd, you know that by heart?
The fourth one would be the vacation week.
That's the vacation week. I don't know if that affects.
Right.
When you say the fourth one, what do you mean, the fourth week?
The fourth Wednesday of the
fourth
month.
The fourth Wednesday, we're looking at Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday.
Wednesdays are usually,
I understood Wednesday, I'm sorry.
yeah, but I just threw out a
No,
day.
I wrote down Wednesday, Thursday, I didn't know. Okay, Wednesday is fine with
Wednesday's better. Or-
Matt.
So look, the next one would be the 25th at 6 p.m.
In January?
in January.
It's my birthday.
Oh. 6 p.m.
The official name is Racial Equity and Human Rights. I never know. what
Advisory
they're
Committee
called.
on Racial Equity, Inclusion, and
I'm
Human Rights.
Doing this committee, is there, okay.
I think we'll end up being called like the Human Rights Committee,
Okay.
but the official title.
Like a snazzy name.
Yeah.
Maybe we can interpret
Yeah.
it so we
Equity,
get, like, the
diversity, and
right-
human rights.
Yes, maybe that.
Equity,
Hey,
inclusion.
you know what? That may be even a situation too. You come up with a
A cute acronym.
Yeah.
or a nicer,
Meaningful
a
acronym.
yeah, like Newmarket Forward or Newmarket something like that.
Good, I like that.
can just change it.
Oh, 659 Ford.
That's true. That actually, I like that.
I like that.
What did you send her?
659 Ford.
The,
That's a
the phone.
prefix for our phone numbers. Except for Newfields, it's the same
Yeah.
in some cases.
Actually, I stand corrected. The fourth Thursday of March, the fourth Wednesday is not the vacation week. It's because the way the Wednesdays fall.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So vacation is,
So we could do the fourth Wednesday of February
So
as well.
February still.
Okay, so we could do the
So that's-
22nd.
so,
the
so
fourth
February
Wednesday
vacation's
works.
going into March again
Yeah,
this year.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dr. Seuss's birthday is always Read Across America, March
There you
2nd.
go.
Okay.
Okay, so now
So February 2nd.
February 20.
February 22nd
second,
would be
and
the
then it would be
fourth
March
Wednesday.
22nd.
Yeah. I think that's fine to schedule those three, or just,
Schedule those three
Yep.
because that gets us some
And see,
forward
Yeah.
motion.
Yeah, some momentum.
What is the third, I'm sorry, the third one's in March also?
yeah,
yes,
Okay.
the
So
22nd as well.
same
So the
week and-
fourth Wednesday of January, February, March,
Yep.
right?
yeah,
Okay, got
25th,
it.
22nd, 22nd.
Cool, thank you.
And go from there too, because you may either feel like you don't need to have a meeting, or yeah, especially summertime usually gets a little more difficult once we get. So we've got some stuff that we could pull together. I'll try to work with the chair on getting an agenda for the January meeting, and we'll go from there. Any other items from the committee?
Or the public?
Comments by visitors? We don't have a mic though, so. Oh, we have to use the mic.
Mike's right there.
Yeah, you can use that one.
Kind of interested when you said, wow, my wife is half Lao, half Thai.
Oh.
And just for the record, we need it for the record, like the council meeting name.
You're not Tung Kane.
No, your name.
Oh, Bert Allen III. Okay, so when you were asking about the Lao community, you'd probably want to talk to Marker Bay, which is beside the church, up on North Main, right there. They originally came over from Laos, Valentine. They spent awful lot of years at the UN in the field over there in Thailand. They took a lot of them in before they came here over here to Newmarket. A better person to question about that would be them. They worked down the old Kingston Warren plant. They're both supervisors. Gasket plant makes gaskets for that community. Plus there's a good size of them down on Dame Road, right behind Kruzik's. We even have a haircutter here in town, Kim. She's Vietnamese. Her husband is South Korean? Yikes. Oh, one of them. So, it is a lot of Asian community around here. They usually stay right in the area. Just watching to see how you guys do on your the immigration community is larger up here than you really think. We're right kind of dab smack in the middle of Boston and Portland. Your most of your human rights is done in Portland, Maine, up by Catholic Church, up there on the hill. So they probably have a lot of information that you guys could gather up pretty easy. That's all I wanted to say.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's nothing else, we can adjourn this meeting till late January when we see everybody again.
Okay.
Sounds good. We're adjourned.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks.
Thank you.